The one that got away. This is the story of Rhonda Stapley, the woman who survived Ted Bundy. Rhonda says in 1974, she was attacked and almost unalived by serial killer Ted Bundy. I think her story is very important. It's a story of survival, and whether you believe her or not, her story should be heard. Rhonda Stapley has kept a secret for nearly 4 decades. She says she was beaten by Ted Bundy. From her mother's home in Ogden, surrounded by family, Stapley recalls Tuesday what she said was the darkest time of her life. Stapley was a pharmacology student at the University of Utah in 1974. On October 11th of that year, she says she nearly lost her life at the hands of Ted Bundy during the height of his killing spree. Rhonda said it all started off innocently enough. On that day, after a dentist appointment in downtown Salt Lake City, she was waiting for a bus to take her back to campus where she lived. She waited for more than a half an hour when the vehicle pulled up. This tan Volkswagen came by and the driver rolled down his window and asked, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going to the U." He said, "Me too." Stapley didn't think twice about accepting the ride from a smooth-talking, handsome law student. She even believed him when he told her he needed to make a quick detour. I'm so young, and he's still this handsome college law student, and I'm still impressed with him, and I don't want to embarrass either one of us, so I'm just trying to figure out a way to get out of this romantic interlude that he's thinking of planning. See, Rhonda thought Ted was making unwanted advances towards her, like he was going to try to kiss her or ask her out on a date. But Ted had planned something more deranged than that. The detour turned out to be Big Cottonwood Canyon. He leaned in close, and I thought he was going to kiss me, and he said, "Do you know what? I'm going to..." "You," Stapley remembered. He put his hands on my throat and started squeezing. Stapley said she was in and out of consciousness as Bundy beat her and her. He had every intention of me dying, she said. Before he could she said she saw an opportunity for escape. He was fiddling with something in the back of the car, and he had his back to me, she recalled. I was able to jump and run. I fell into a fast-moving river, Cottonwood Creek or whatever they call it up there, that swept me away from him and probably saved my life. When she eventually made it back to her apartment, she said she felt ashamed. I thought to myself, no one can ever know I did this stupid thing. I nearly got myself killed. I promised myself I would never tell a soul what happened. I kept that secret until 2012. She thought back then if her mother found out, she would make her drop out of school and come home. I thought that people would point at me and say, "That's her. That's the girl who got..." People would treat you differently. Things would just be awkward and weird. I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to pretend it never happened and go on with my life. In the weeks that followed, Ted Bundy kidnapped and killed 2 Utah women. Stapley said she was in denial that it was the same person that she watched on the news reports about the crimes. Then I had this huge amount of guilt, she said. I thought that if I'd have come forward, other women might have not been killed. She kept the secret from her husband and later from her children until 2012 when she says an event at work triggered post-traumatic stress disorder. She knew it was time to come clean and seek therapy. I Believe Rhonda, Part 2 coming up.